David, I want to ask you something. How you ever tried to think in English, not just speak it, but actually think in it?
Oh, wow, yes. That's a hard question, actually. For a long time, I would think in my own language first, and then translate everything in my head before I spoke.
Right, and that's so common. But today, we're going to talk about how to train your brain to think directly in English. It's actually possible, and it's not as hard as people think.
Exactly. And here's a fun fact for you. Your brain can actually start to rewire itself in just a few weeks if you expose it to a new language every single day.
Rewire. Okay, let's stop right there because that's a great vocabulary word. Rewire means to change or reorganize the way your brain thinks or works. So when David says your brain can rewire itself, he means it can build new habits and new paths for thinking.
Exactly. Like imagine your brain is a roadmap, and rewiring is building a new road, a faster road, straight to English.
I like that. Okay, so where do we even start with this? Because thinking in English sounds kind of intimidating.
It is intimidating, but it starts with something really simple. Listening.
Listening first?
Yeah, listening is the foundation. Foundation means the base, the starting point. Like when you build a house, you need a strong foundation first before you add walls or a roof.
That makes sense. So how do you actually use listening to build this foundation?
Okay, so for me, I didn't try to understand every single word at first. I would just play English podcasts in the background while I was cooking or cleaning the house.
Oh, like background noise.
Exactly. Background noise, but useful noise. And over time, without even trying, I started picking up common words and phrases.
That's so true. I did something similar, but with TV shows. I remember watching a show from India, actually, that had English subtitles. And at first, it was just noise to me. Funny noise, but still noise.
Funny noise.
Right. I couldn't understand the jokes at all, but I kept watching because I liked the characters so much. And slowly, after a few weeks, I started understanding little pieces.
Snippets.
Yes, snippets, small parts of the conversation. And eventually, I could follow whole conversations. It felt amazing.
That's the magic of exposure. Exposure means coming into contact with a language regularly, through videos, podcasts, shows, anything.
And the best part is, you don't have to force yourself to watch boring educational stuff only. If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you love sports, watch sports interviews.
Exactly. Find what you enjoy so it doesn't feel like work.
Okay, so we have listening as our foundation. What comes after that?
After listening comes repetition.
Repetition? Meaning doing something again and again, right?
Exactly. Doing something regularly without stopping. And I used to think repetition was boring. I thought, I need to learn something new every day to improve.
But that's not true?
No, not at all. Going over the same material actually helps you internalize it.
Internalize. Okay, let's explain that one too. Internalize means to absorb something so deeply that it becomes natural, like it's part of you now.
Right. It's like watching your favorite movie. The first time you understand the story, but the fifth time you notice small details, little jokes, things you missed before.
Oh, I totally relate to that. I used to listen to the same 5-minute audio clip every morning during my walk.
Same 5 minutes every day?
Every single day. At first, I only understood a few words, but by the third or fourth time, I could follow the whole thing. And by like the 10th time,
You probably knew it by heart.
I was literally saying the words along with it.
That's amazing. That's exactly how it works. And here's something cool. Repetition builds confidence. I remember practicing one phrase. Could you repeat that, please? I said it so many times in practice that when I actually needed it in real life,
It just came out naturally.
exactly. No stress, no thinking. It just happened.
Okay, so now we have listening, then repetition. What's next?
This is where it gets fun because now we add creativity, mini stories.
Mini stories? Tell me more.
So mini stories are just short, simple stories, maybe 2 or 3 sentences that you can remember easily.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say Maria walked into a coffee shop on a rainy day. She ordered a hot tea. Suddenly, she dropped her phone on the floor.
Okay, simple enough.
Now here's the trick. You turn that story into questions. Where did Maria go?
She went to a coffee shop.
Why was it special that day?
Because it was rainy.
What did she order?
She ordered hot tea.
See, this feels like a game, but it's actually training your brain to think and respond in English immediately instead of translating first.
That's smart. And you don't even need a dramatic story. Even something like, I saw a cat in the garden can become practice.
Exactly. What color was the cat? Was it big or small? Where exactly was the garden? Simple questions, real practice.
Okay, David, let's talk about grammar now. Because I feel like grammar is everyone's least favorite topic.
Oh, don't remind me. I used to spend hours memorizing grammar charts, and then I would freeze up when I actually had to speak.
Same here. But there's a better way, right? Learning grammar through stories?
Yes. Instead of memorizing rules, you just notice how grammar works naturally. For example, if you hear, Anna went to the market yesterday, you naturally notice the past tense.
And if you hear, Anna is going to the market tomorrow?
Then you've got future tense, just from listening to a simple story.
That's such a relaxed way to learn. I used to take a simple story and rewrite it in different tenses: past, present, future.
Like seeing the same event from different camera angles.
Exactly. And honestly, it made grammar actually fun.
Fun? That's a bold statement.
I know, but it's true. I practiced with a story about my morning routine. I wake up at 7 a.m. Then I changed it. I woke up at 7 a.m. yesterday, or I will wake up at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
After enough practice, you don't even think about the tense anymore.
It just comes naturally.
And that's the goal, because you're not just learning grammar rules, you're learning how to use them in real conversation.
Like building a toolbox, right? You grab the right tool exactly when you need it.
I love that comparison. Okay, so let's talk about something else that really matters. Finding content you actually care about.
Oh, this is so important. If I'm not emotionally connected to what I'm watching or reading, I lose interest really fast.
Same here. For me, it was always travel videos. I'd watch people exploring new cities, and I felt like I was traveling with them.
For me, it was cooking shows. I loved watching recipes in English and trying to follow along.
And that's the secret. When you're passionate about the topic, you remember things better.
It's like watching a movie that really moves you emotionally. You remember every scene because it left an impact on you.
Exactly. So whether it's sports, cooking, music, anything, find what excites you and dive into it in English.
And here's something important too. When you're learning new words, don't just learn them alone. Pay attention to how they're used in context.
Context, meaning the situation around a word that helps you understand its real meaning.
Right. Learning a word by itself is like trying to bake a cake with random ingredients. You don't know how they fit together.
But when you see a word inside a sentence, it's like following a recipe step by step.
I remember learning the phrase "on the same page" during a meeting scene in a TV show. At first, I thought it was literally about books.
Same page like reading?
Exactly. But then someone said, let's make sure we're on the same page about this project. And I realized it meant being in agreement.
In agreement, meaning sharing the same opinion as someone else.
Exactly. And once I understood the context, the phrase just clicked in my brain.
That's how real learning happens. Not from lists, but from context.
Okay, so we've talked about listening, repetition, mini stories, grammar through stories, and learning through context. What ties all of this together?
Consistency.
Ah, the secret sauce.
Exactly. Consistency means doing something regularly without big breaks, and you don't need hours every day.
Right. Just 10 or 15 minutes can make a real difference if you do it every day.
I used to listen to a short podcast every morning while getting ready. It was such a small habit, but it added up over time.
I did something similar. I'd read one short English article daily, even if it was just a few lines.
And eventually, it stops feeling like studying.
It becomes part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth.
Exactly like that. And once you build that consistency, it's time for the final step, actually speaking.
Oh, speaking. This is the scary part for a lot of people.
It really is, but it's so important. I remember the first time I spoke English in public. My heart was racing so fast.
What were you thinking?
I kept thinking, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh?
And what happened?
Nothing bad.
Most people were just happy that I was trying. They didn't care about small mistakes at all.
That's such an important lesson. Mistakes are proof that you're actually learning, not failing.
Exactly. And if speaking to other people feels too scary at first, you can start by talking to yourself.
Talking to yourself? Like out loud?
Yes, I used to narrate my day. I'm making coffee now. I'm going to the store later. It felt a little silly,
I bet.
but it gave me real confidence before I spoke with other people.
And once you're comfortable with that, you can practice with a friend or even a language partner online.
The more you do it, the less scary it becomes.
Every single step out of your comfort zone brings you closer to real fluency.
So today, we covered 8 powerful techniques: listening, repetition, mini stories, grammar through stories, emotional connection, context learning, consistency, and finally, speaking out loud.
The big message here is simple. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to practice a little every day and trust the process.
That's it. English Talking Today is here to help you on that journey, one small step at a time.
So keep practicing, stay curious, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
We'll see you in the next episode with even more tips to help you think and speak naturally.
And hey, if this episode helped you even a little, please subscribe to English Talking Today, like this video, and share it with a friend who's learning English too.
It really helps us keep making content just like this for you. See you next time.